Foster care was a natural choice for Steve and Ann Jacobs of Lakeland, Minnesota.
We both, at different points in our childhood, encountered foster children. Myself as friends that were in foster care and really didn't feel loved or wanted. Looking back on it, I don't know if it was their situation or really the environment they were in, but it was hard for them. And I felt really called to that. And then
I had a family friend who was a foster parent, and I thought, hey, that's pretty cool. I could do that.
Yeah, so when we started talking about having kids, we both kind of hemmed and hawed, and then eventually one of us said, okay, I really want to do foster care sometime. And the other one said, oh, me too.
Cool.
So it's just kind of a given from before we were ever married that we would do it sometime.
Saying yes to foster care has changed the Jacobs' life.
Initially, we had planned only to have 1 or 2 kids. And we kind of had our lives all planned out, everything we wanted to do, things were going really well for us. And we finally had a big house, and we said, it's time. We'll start doing foster care. And we had one little boy who was so cute, and he went home, and they called and said 3. We have 3 kids. And we said, well, all right. We kind of made a commitment to say yes to whatever and let God figure it out in the end. And those 3 came, and they didn't leave as fast as they thought they would. And then they called before they ever left and said, okay, we just have 3 more kids for 3 weeks. That's all we need, just for 3 weeks. And those kids stayed for about 3 months. So by the time they left, we had to reconfigure our lives. And then when they left, we looked at each other and thought we'd just say yes and see where God took us. And we never thought we would be here. But it's amazing. Kids are great.
The Jacobs have hosted over 30 foster children and adopted 10 of them, in addition to their 5 biological children.
The 3 that came right afterwards, a year and a half after they're with us, became available for adoption. And once the kid's been with you for a year and a half, it's not like, sorry, we don't need you no more. We obviously they're part of our family, so we said we'd adopt, and one thing led to another, and 10 kids later.
We kind of always said, if we ever have a child that doesn't go home, we'll adopt. And it had been presented to us in foster care that most of the kids will go home. They'll be reunified. They'll go. You just have to get used to that. And so we thought that would be really hard. But in the end, quite a few of the kids obviously didn't reunify. And we just always say yes. I can't imagine, I don't know, once they become part of the family, I can't imagine sending them away.
Steve and Ann made adjustments as their family grew.
Well, the first house we lived in was a pretty nice house. I think it was a 4-bedroom, 2-story, but 6
that
kids.
Was small really fast.
6 kids fill it up pretty fast. We actually lived in another house before this one, which was probably as big as this one, but wasn't quite as laid out as nice. Plus, the history of this one is kind of fun. It's an old church that my grandparents and my uncles built, and we actually got married here, so it's just got a lot of history. When we went from 6 kids to 12 kids, there wasn't really much difference. Bigger van, that was cool.
Steve and Ann were surprised to be named Angels in Adoption by Congresswoman Michele Bachmann's office, but they hope it provides more opportunities to share their experiences.
We did so much, and really so much as we were working with the kids, so much research and so much education, and we have all this stuff stuck in our heads about how we'd like to see things different, or how things really work well, or what we're excited about. And now we can't do foster care anymore because we may have reached the limit. And so it's kind of it's exciting to think about the opportunities to network and look at the different advocacy options, because I'd love to find a way to use all that and make it easier for somebody else.
For families looking to adopt, Steve and Ann explain how to navigate the foster care system.
If you're trying to adopt, there are kids out there who already can't go home. There's waiting lists in every single state that says, hey, these kids need a home. If you want to just adopt, check out your local states, and you can do just that.
Yeah. So you can adopt through the foster care system, and only intend on doing foster care for the children that you are promised to be able to adopt.
Steve and Ann urge people to see the rewards of foster care.
And we just really encourage people to lay the stereotypes of foster children aside. The kids are amazing and resilient and funny and so smart. And they have had, some of them, really difficult histories. But whether you're adopting here or internationally or having a child of your own, you have no idea what the future will bring. It's more about just taking that step and saying, is this what I'm doing? Is this what I'm called to do? Do I want to care for this child? Do I want to commit to this process? Do I want to offer the greatest amount of love and protection and guidance that I can, and see where it leads? We have, in every instance, no matter how difficult certain things were, been incredibly blessed.